Welcome to the February community meeting for Argo Workflows and Events. I'm Kalen, the CEO co-founder at PedKit. And today, we're going to dive into a couple of announcements and then exciting presentation and demo from Ludwig at Universal Music Group. The first announcement we have is that a reminder that the ArgoCon North America recordings are live on YouTube. Definitely check those out. Some really great talks from last ArgoCon, and ArgoCon Europe is coming up in London. That'll be on April 1st. So go sign up if you haven't already. I think there's still some regular price tickets available, maybe early bird, but yeah, it's going to be a co-located event with KubeCon Europe. So we're excited for that. And there will be quite a few Argo workflows talks as well. And then the announcement on the workflows release, we have a 3.6 release. Releases, we had a patch release come through 3.6.4. We had one bug that came up in 3.6.3, so we got that fixed. And that is now live, and then we're looking to get a 3.6.5 release out probably next week, targeting end of month for a 3.6.5 release. That'll have some more bug fixes and refactor on the controller for a good scaling performance benefit. So look out for 3.6.5 soon. But if anyone's looking to upgrade 3.6.4 or 3.6.5 will be the latest recommended versions to use. And we are still supporting 3.5. I think the latest there was 3.5.11. Where did it go? 3.5. Yeah. We got a 3.5.11 out. Or sorry, it was a 3.5.15 out. 3.5.14, yeah. 3.5.14 out. So we backported a bunch of changes to 3.5 and got some security patches in. So if you're on 3.5, definitely upgrade to 3.5.14 for the latest. Let's see here. And yeah, with that, we will hand it over to Ludwig. I'll hand it over to you, share the screen to talk about, migrating your audio encoding jobs to Argo. Excited for this.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Let me just share my screen. So,
I see your screen.
I'm working, my name is Ludwig. I'm working for a company called Deutsche Grammophon, which is part of the Universal Music Group. And we released 2 years ago an app that is called Stage Plus, which is meant to be the central go-to point for classical music regarding live events and also audio on demand. So we're streaming from several venues worldwide. And we're also the first ones to stream Dolby Atmos live. It's just some slides to get an impression which artists we're working with. We're working in the Bayreuth Festival,
Cool.
so it will be, I think it will be this year. Then the first streams are exclusively available on Stage Plus, but also on the Hamburg Elbphilharmonie, the LA Phil. So we have contracts with several venues and also with several orchestras. And of course, we're running on every app you can imagine, our app platform. So all the Apple stuff like Apple TV, iPhone, and Vision Pro. We are one of the first music apps available on Vision Pro, but also on Android and also on television sets. So television sets made by Samsung and LG is available right now. And you have access not only to the live events, but also to video recordings and to a really huge audio catalog by Deutsche Grammophon. and also labels which are associated with Deutsche Grammophon, which is Decca Classics, Philips Classics, and Hyperion. And these is really a vast catalog. It's not the most important use case for Stage Plus right now, but we're working on the audio stuff to be more prominent and to get more audios into it. And that is actually what I'm working on. The Deutsche Grammophon itself has around 20,000 albums, only the Deutsche Grammophon, not Decca, not Hyperion, it's only Deutsche Grammophon. That means, in theory, it's 250,000 tracks. And the current ingest pipeline is built by a contractor. And it takes 1 cent per minute for each rendition. So if you render out an audio file into HLS, so it can be streamed in the browser or an app, then you need multiple streams. So you need a low resolution one until to lossless audio and Dolby Atmos. So we have 4 or 5, depending on the master material we have. So just one rendition is about $10,000 for the whole catalog. And when we do it with AWS Media Convert. So we try to find an alternative to use FFmpeg directly and create the streams. We're having lossless master files. Or if it's Dolby Atmos, we have not lossless, but the audio tracks for all the surround streams. And sometimes we also find issues with, for example, Google TV, so Android TV. We had an issue which could not play several renditions, so we need to repackage and reconvert the whole catalog. Currently, we do not have the whole catalog online. It's just about 2,000 albums, or maybe 3,000 by the time now. But we're aiming for the whole catalog of Deutsche Grammophon. So if we for any reason have to re-encode the whole catalog, then we are paying lots of money if we're using Media Convert or competitors. That's why we just decided to give Argo Workflows a try. We already have some decent Python knowledge, so Hera is really a gift, which helps us to work with Argo Workflows. And I'm going to show you in a couple of seconds how this looks like. So, and the experience was, we have one label which Deutsche Grammophon bought 2023. It's called Hyperion, which has around 2,000 releases or albums. And this was the first time we used Argo Workflow for ingest completely. So all these 2,000 albums went through the Argo Workflows pipeline, and it took just 30 seconds per album. So if it's 2,000 times 30, then you have the minutes we use to render it, and it's just the compute time running on an EKS cluster. So the cluster is there anyway, and now it's just the compute we are using for the FFmpeg runs. We're using Carpenter to scale the EKS cluster, so it scales down aggressively when it's not in use, because we're using it only when we are encoding audio stuff. If not, it scales really down and really well. So if it's not doing anything, it scales down to 3 nodes. And it scales up for the Hyperion run, it scaled up to 12 nodes. Which is still very small in that regard, but it was sufficient for that what we are doing here. What really helped us and was different to all the stuff we did before was the retry submit stuff in the Argo server, because all the heavy lifting was done already. But when we had some error, let's say the metadata was not available in the backend of Stage Plus yet, then we just needed to click on retry and just resend the backend notification to ingest the album. So it was really a helper in that space. because then we had all the transcodings ready lying around as artifacts or as in the target bucket already. So that was really working well. What really was a pain was setting up or getting started with Argo. The documents were helping at the very beginning, and then later when I found my way through the way the documents were written. But in the meantime, it was lots of trial and error. So it was always spinning up an Argo installation, especially when it comes to authentication. That was really amazing because it was very difficult, and now it's working perfectly. But yeah, it was some strange things happened there, and we had some minor server annoyances regarding the retry resubmit. Some settings are not part of the URL, so if you switch screens and go back, then you're losing the filter settings, which is kind of strange. So this was the PowerPoint stuff I had. I would now switch over to some browser and code thing, unless you have
Great.
questions until now.
Yeah, I guess I had the question. So to clarify the retry, you're saying on the UI you wanted to have some filter settings to filter down
I can show
to
that when I switch
yeah,
to the browser, which was
sure.
okay.
Yeah, we can definitely look at improving the UI, like I guess filter memory.
Yeah,
I think we've looked at that either, yeah, figuring out how we want to store that, but
it's just
yeah.
two or three fields that are missing to be added to the URL.
Yeah, cool.
So
Well,
that's
yeah, hop over, sure.
ju- just one look on the website of Stage Plus. This is how you can consume Stage Plus as well. Apart from all the app stuff, you can use a browser to watch the things. And I just show a couple of seconds of my favorite video. Um, so this was this
Wow,
was the opening of Notre Dame after the rebuild. We streamed it live
very cool.
through Stage Plus. It was the first Dolby Atmos live stream ever, but no one did that before. So um,
Nice, congrats.
thank you. Oh, sorry. I would have liked to see it on the Vision Pro, but I did not. But we do have some 3D videos. We have one concert of a pianist, and you can place the video on a lake, and then you feel like you can walk around and so on. It's pretty amazing. So, and this is the part I'm talking about. This is the audio only stuff, right? So this is where you find Deutsche Grammophon content, and now also like this one. This is a Hyperion album, which I can show you in the ingest pipeline. So when we enter the Argo workflow server UI, these ingest runs are the ones triggered by an S3 bucket notifications. So we have a central supply chain at Universal Music Group, which places all audio files along with an XML, which follows a standard. It's called DDEX. This is an industry-wide standard for video, audio, rights management, and so on. So every DSP like Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, and so on, they are also talking with this format, which was also a reason why we chose Python for that, because the XML support in Python is excellent. And yeah, so once a release is placed in the bucket, it places one DDEX file. It's called resource XML, which is triggering the workflow itself. And the XML is parsed and extracts only the three parts relevant for Stage Plus. So it's one is the booklet you can download, the cover, and the tracks themselves. So it does this by just passing subtrees of the XML down to the subsequent nodes. This is the one just extracting the part. This downloads the cover script, and then you have the cover downloaded as artifact in Argo workflows, and the same, it's really the same code actually doing the same with the booklet. So it's downloading the PDF you can view here. And it's also then made available to Stage Plus. Until now, you cannot see the booklet in Stage Plus. It's a feature to come, but we prepared that already. And also, it does make all the FFmpeg magic. These are not Python steps. This is just a FFmpeg container running a bash shell script, working on with AWS CLI, downloading the stuff, invoke FFmpeg, upload it again to another bucket, and create the HLS manifest with another tool, and just uploads it. This is done via a fan out for each single track. So every encoding runs in a separate pod, and it's running with a retry logic, which is helping us here because when Carpenter scales, the nodes sometimes some pods were lost. I don't know why yet. And it just restarted then on a different node. Then we do the fan in, collect all the info again, like the destination where the renditions were written and where the HLS playlists are located. And after that, we're creating just an internal release notification, which is a JSON sent to the backend of Stage Plus, informing Stage Plus this UPC is ready. If it had Atmos UPCs, so this is sorry, the UPC is a barcode on a CD, but this is printed on every release. If we had Atmos, we would also provide the UPC here, because this helps to cross-reference them and the locations of the cover, the booklet, and all the single tracks. That is all the Argo Workflows is doing for us right now. Any questions
Nice.
so far?
I guess I could jump in. Yeah, I was wondering, given the fan out here, how was it to set up this fan out, and how did that compare to other tools you'd been using before? Were you able to parallelize tasks easily with Argo and Hera?
It was very easy actually with Argo Workflows. That was, I think it was one of the more easy parts of Argo.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, I can show you the code. It's just Hera in
awesome.
that regard. I'm using, let me just find my place here. This is the container. It's just in that case just the container definition with a
Yeah,
specific image, and the shell script, which is one, and this is invoked with a parameter. So it's just packager. It's here. It's this one makes the fan out with
yeah,
parameter in Hera. So that was fairly easy to just get it started here. I did use not in the encoding context, but in ETL environments. I used, it's many years ago. A tool was called Kettle, or Pentao Data Integration, which is now owned by Hitachi, I think. But by then it was an open source tool, and this had the notion of a Petri net. So every node on this was working in parallel, and this really reminds me of Argo workflow. It's fairly the same, or it's a similar architecture to work with. So I felt at home with that one actually.
yeah.
That was one of the
Everything
reasons
runs in parallel.
to try Argo workflows in the first place. So
That's great. And yeah, how did you find Hera, and was it easy to get started with Hera?
uh, kind of, yeah.
It's
we,
okay. You can be honest.
I'm, I,
Yeah.
we were already using Argo CD in a different project,
Great.
and we just stumbled across the Argo project website, and so it was just a question of, hey, what is Argo workflows? And it looked very, very similar to what I did years before with this ETL tool. So I wanted to give it a try. And I'm already using Python a lot. So I really looked at Python libraries, working on the Argo API.
Sure.
And there was another one, it was called Cooler, I think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was,
It's another one.
I did not try it actually, but it looked okay. And when I first looked at Hera, it was version 4. And then a complete rewrite came and just abstracted all the API stuff away. I was a bit lost by then, and so I did not try it at first with Hera. But then I just looked at the sample section in Hera, and that just was then quite a thing to try.
Good. Okay.
What I did not know when I implemented this stuff that Hera is supporting Pydantic as
Yeah.
the transport thingy. So all the schema and so on should work out of the box. I did not try it yet, but I'm using Pydantic in other code parts. So I would like to see that all the stuff flowing
Sure.
around here from node to node to be Pydantic objects. So and be
Yeah.
be checked by that. I do not have that
That's
yet.
a
I
that's a
I,
big
I
benefit of Hera. Yeah, taking
yeah
advantage of Pydantic to
yeah
do that. So okay, I'm excited for you to try that and let us know.
yeah. I really had issues first with all the parameter handover between each node. I wasn't aware that the parameter transfer was using standard output and standard input.
Mm,
So when I have, let's say, I don't have it here right now. It's like this one. Um, I do write into the logs. So if,
okay.
if this if this gets mixed up with my objects or with my parameters, then it's failing. And I was really, really puzzled by that until I switched over to using the file-based approach. So this
The
way
artifacts.
is
Yeah.
placing in, yeah, it's not an artifact, at least it's not ending up as an artifact in the repository, but it's still a parameter, but it's using a file for that.
Okay, good. Yeah, I understand now. Okay.
So, but I still can log and just don't have problems with it. But I did not do this for every step right now. This
Understood.
is
And
maybe
then how do you trigger from the S3? Are you using an API call or are you using Argo events to trigger the
it's using
jobs from
Argo events.
S3?
Yes. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Nice.
I can show this too. I just need to move
No problem.
the faces windows around. So
Yes.
I think it's that one. It's
Yes,
just
here you go.
just it's just a sensor on an SQS.
Yes. Yep. Okay.
Um, and that triggers is a source that listens on the SQS, and the sensor just triggers the workflow. And that's
Great.
also
When a new file is
it's
uploaded
all
to S3. Yeah.
it's always the small details which are complicated. So how do you enter parameters from the events YAML? How do you place it in the correct location and so on? So this is, I can just show you the the code for that one as well. So this is the sensor that triggers actually um, the workflows. And I really had a hard time figuring that out. So that how to get the the data from the bucket notification. And also it's I'm expecting this to fail at one day because bucket notifications could include more than one object. I'm just using the first here. So it might be the case that I'm losing something here. And also that where to find this spec arguments that it's meant to be this one was not clear to me at first. So this is where the arguments get placed for the workflow itself.
Yeah, I see.
But yeah, it is just minor things. And also what I really love is the possibility to place labels on the for this server thing so that I can yeah, really have the UPC and also to have this the label expression so I can search for a specific UPC and see which workflows did work on that one or did fail maybe. I really love that
That's
feature.
great.
I saw that we can put Markdown in this, but I didn't manage to
Yes.
do so. I didn't get it to work. I did get it to work in some static experiments, but when I use some template expressions, it's always used displayed the markdown itself. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. It's not an error in Argo, which I first thought. It's not. So I did try different template expression. They did display markdown. I would like to see that more.
Okay. Yeah, that's a newer feature for the UI, but we
Yeah,
can, yeah, if we take a look at the markdown, maybe we'll, after this, we could figure out what's
yeah.
going wrong.
Let me the things that are missing from the server UI, the filter things maybe.
Yeah, sure.
So when let's say I filter for failed and just want to see, no, not from today, let's say from February the 11th. So I want to see all of them. It's not more than this, but it's okay.
Yes.
And now enter one of that. All the filters are gone. So if I go back or go back to this page, the failed is still there, but the created since is gone,
Mm,
and the old settings is gone. So
yeah.
this is just it's just it's small annoyance. It's not.
Yeah, extra clicks.
It's just extra
We
clicks
would,
and
this would be
and,
a good
and
enhancement.
scrolling
Yeah,
to the last row. I would love to see that one in this section or on the top of that, or just being remembered during the clicks.
sure. Thanks for the feedback. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we've looked into adding additional filters and figuring out, yeah, maybe we can set them as memorable across page views. So thanks for the feedback on that.
So I'm done with
Okay.
things the things I wanted to show. Maybe you want to see more of the code or maybe how we deploy the things. It's done with a GitHub action. This is one.
Oh, cool. Okay, so you're deploying Argo with GitHub Actions. Nice.
Yes. So
And use Argo CD as well on the to manage it, or are
no,
you not?
and
Okay.
this is a completely different project. We're using just GitHub Actions here, which is
Okay.
working fine for us. So
Yep.
I use a diff step, which displays just the diff output. So I created a command for the Hera stuff. So it just prints the workflow template and use a kubectl diff and store this in a file and just display that on the job summary. So you get a color diff on the summary page. And for the deploy, it's very similar. I'm just using the same command and pipe it to kubectl apply.
Great.
When we go to this thing, this is from request. Here you see the diff from the template. So it's obviously changing the image tag because we're using the Git fingerprint for that. That's the only diff here because we did not change anything here. It's just an update of another template, actually.
Very cool.
Now you see really all of that.
Yeah, end to end. Yeah, thanks for running through all this, Ludwig. This is really cool. Um, and then ultimately, what was the cost savings from yeah, migrating from the audio encode tool on AWS to Argo?
We don't know yet, actually. So I mean, we could just try to estimate it now because we did 2,000 albums just the week before last week.
Wow, cool.
So and it took 30 seconds per album. So
Nice. Yeah, so that's how you got to the okay.
um,
Was it also faster in that sense?
not really. I mean,
Same.
we're not
Okay.
spinning up that large EC2 instances. I think we could get faster, maybe even if we would use GPUs for that. But we do not. It's not required actually. It's not. We
Yeah.
don't have any time pressure on that.
Yeah, understood. So it's really about just making sure you have
So it's
manageable
thousand.
cost. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 1,000 minutes by. This would be okay. It's $10 for for one Envision. By four, it would be $40 with AWS Media Convert. Okay,
Nice.
we're paying a lot more for the cluster per month. So we do not have any savings right now. We do expect more savings when we are running the whole catalog and maybe working on video as well because
Yeah.
lots of more parts of the stream we need to transcode or re-encode if we onboard new devices or that kind of things.
Very cool.
So we are not
And
we
are
are
you
not saving
using
money right now.
yeah, so you're approaching yeah, kind of covering or breaking even on the cost of the cluster. But you've only ran 2,000 albums.
Yeah.
So yeah, understood. So there's probably yeah, a lot more than over time you'll be running if
Oh
you
wait,
ran 20,000. Yeah.
I made an error here. We need to count the tracks. So it's around 20,000 tracks. So it would be $400 actually,
Oh, cool.
not 40.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
10 ti about 10 tracks per album.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. And then are you using spot instances on the
No,
cluster? Not yet. Okay.
not yet. I'm just I never try to onboard spot instances into a Kubernetes cluster. Currently, we're using ARM instances, so the Graviton
Cool.
things. So and they're fine for us, and we're not producing that much load. We might look into spot instances when we're starting with video,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's
it
definitely a
depends
good
how long
idea.
you need how you need the pods. Yeah, how long you need
Yeah,
the nodes. But that's another strength of Argo with the retry policies. You can just make the workflows resilient to
yeah.
spot. So even if a spot node is taken away, you just the workflow reruns automatically, and so you just let the workflows run
Hmm.
on whatever spot's available, and usually you can get another good chunk of savings there, 20 to 60% depending on the size of the spots. Yeah. Well, cool. Thanks for yeah coming today to share this with us, and yeah, really excited to take some of this feedback to improve the UI and the docs, it sounds like. So thanks for your
I'm
honest feedback, and
I'm
we look
stopping the
forward
screen
to
share
it.
now. Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. We'll we'll see you soon in the community and look forward to having contributions too as well. So thanks for coming, Ludwig.